I bet you're thinking, boy, I can't wait to take my friends through my rendition of childhood stories because I don't read books. Little sus. But what if I tell you that's actually a pretty good idea? Hi, I'm Wes from Rolling Deep, and I'm here to help you improve your Into the Forest style campaign. Let's play into the stories you know, in order to elevate the stories you tell. It may be a premise you've heard a million times before. Brothers Grimm tales, Hansel and Gretel, Rumpelstiltskin, and the Little Red Riding Hood are all Eurocentric childhood stories that take place deep within green-walled forests. Am I saying you should lure your friends into your house and make soup from their bodies? Yes, and we can make some awesome D&D scenarios based off them as well. Take the tale of Little Red Riding Hood. Examine it through the framework of adapting it to a module. Little Red received a quest from her mom to deliver her basket of goodies to Grandma. Along the way, a wolf with the speak to human ability stalks her, approaches her with a high charisma, and extracts information from her. Armed with this information, this wolf plots the demise of the player, Little Red. In the end, the wolf's demise was a failed skill check where their disguise kit killed them. So to wrap up this example, if you're having trouble coming up with a convenient story beat, turn to a familiar source and view it again through a new perspective. In the forest at night, every light source casts dancing shadows that meld into the dense greenish black behind it. Each noise is amplified. You and your party sit around the cackling fire while the chilling draft wafts the damp smoke into your face. Blinded to the heavy charcoal smell or any smell, you close your eyes and slump a little further into your sleeping pad. They jolt upwards whenever your friend's story hits an exciting beat. The fleeting thought of who's supposed to be on guard tonight exits your brain as you drift into a knife at your throat! Or a reindeer licking your ear, or a spirit of the past invading your brain for sleeping on his burial site. For freaking real, the forest is one of the best and easiest ways to incorporate surprise encounters into your sessions. Focus hard on the characters who are naive, as them getting lost in the woods would narratively fit. Then you can have your own fun. Use this to set the tone and add suspense if needed. Within these forests are obviously going to be a range of beasties, but that's not all that lies within their bounds. A thick, dense forest takes hundreds of years to mature, and you should use this to conceal secrets about the game world. Any relics of the old world will probably be coated in a layer of moss or have its outside inscriptions rendered unreadable from corrosion. I would recommend having these landmarks on deck for any session that will focus on traveling or getting to a destination. Something that adds on to that last idea was to give your party some insight of to what this forest is like by throwing an encounter at them. You could have a helpless old lady that needs help, and then bam, it's actually a super scary witch that is trying to fight you. Now your party is on the edge of their seats and is going to be a lot more cautious. Or you can have this lady actually be a regular old lady. This could calm their nerves just a little bit. With making your party a little more mellowed out, you could genuinely make this forest what it seems at face value. Or you could mess with your party just like how they always mess up my plans. It's fine. It's fine. But you could totally give them this fake reassurance so that later on, the backstab later is even more of a slap to the face than normal. Loot is everything, and the party thrives on the loot you toss their way. It's one of the quickest and easiest ways to give gratification to the players. There's a great variety in the types of loot you can find, ranging from weapons, shields, and armor. Take this opportunity to properly theme your loot. Make this weapon unique to the construction based on what materials it could have possibly been sourced from. In this case, you may find thick grasses to patch holes in armor, classic obsidian arrowheads to incorporate in your weapon, or harness the power and energies of the forest for enhancements. You can even make some of this loot lead into a quest later on as a valuable key item. Maybe someone asked if you found their lost family heirloom and your party can decide to give it or keep it for themselves. That is just one example, but it could lead to 1,000 different possibilities with 1,000 different outcomes. What are the things that are often found in a forest? If you said druids and animals, congratulations, you just won a new car. Okay, maybe not because we're not Mr. Beast, but good job. These are just some of the most common things you can find in the forest and totally shouldn't be overlooked. Animals can add to the effect and make it feel like a forest, rather than just letting them know it's a forest. You can have different critters running around in the trees, maybe ones that come up and nudge at your player's feet. Cute. Or even a bear attack. Let's get vile with it. Another thing you could do is to have some druids wander about in the forest. They could ask your party what they're doing in their neck of the woods. Or even just say a quick hello. Druids just druiding it up, bruh. Also, remember that if you have any druid or ranger players, it is their time to shine, for real. Nature is their whole thing, and you should let them do things with it. Give them opportunities to use a nature check for once, or forage for some berries. Throwing your nature-loving players a bone is super easy, and it really means a lot. Another thing to think about is, while you're having your party trek through the woods, would be to get into a little bit of detail about what they're seeing. Tell the party about the birch trees or cedar. Talk about the flowers and shrubs around, or even the beautiful aroma coming from the flowers. These don't have to be super in-depth, but any little bit of touching on this subject just adds a lot of flavor and nuance to something that is often forgot about when you're coming up with things totally improv. Sprinkle in a little bit of poison ivy on their balls. Along with making the forest feel more real, remember these forests will change. Different seasons will affect the plants and animals in the area. Changing colors in leaves or blooming plants. Animals in hibernation are roaming about. Again, these are little details that can make your forest feel more real and fresh. Don't forget to use your party's senses either. Let their stealth checks be foiled because they stepped in a pile of leaves, or maybe it reeks because a bear decided to take a massive dump nearby. Thanks, Pickles. Alright, hold on. The final point is the forest doesn't have to be the fluff stuff in between your party getting from point A to point B. There can be little stops in between their journey to make things more fun. Maybe they come across some dwarves in the mines or a little village of gnomes. You can get info from them or just restock in supplies before, venturing back out there. These interactions can even be pulled back to later on, or they can offer a fun little side quest if your party is up for the challenge. Okay, so to wrap up this video with a nice little bow, forests are a typical place that you and your party will have to venture through to get to your destination. At first glance, it may not seem like the most engaging environment, but it truly has depth that shouldn't be avoided. Hopefully this video has helped give you guys a couple good ideas on how to make this a fun journey, rather than a boring woods that you just want to breeze past. Thank you so much for watching us here on Rolling Deep. Why don't you go ahead and check out our Instagram, Twitter, or you can try to catch us live on Reddit, Twitch, or here on YouTube. Like and subscribe, have a good session, and keep on rolling.